Rashi.
Yeah, I'm there.
Hello, all. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Hello,
Hi.
Shri.
I've been working with other youths for quite some time now in a range of projects, and the most outstanding thing I've come to understand about us is this: we are driven. It doesn't matter who we are or what we do. We all have ideas and creative passion and itches in our brains telling us to just go for it. Youth these days are ever more present within our fast-paced, social media-fueled, vastly interconnected world. With important issues like mental health, equality, youth-driven activism, and more becoming increasingly prominent, sustainability in terms of leadership is becoming all the more emphasized upon to ensure that we positively secure our future prospects. Youth Network 2021 will be focusing on creativity and sustainable leadership. We all have our own subjective values on what it means to be a leader, and more importantly, what it means to be a sustainable leader. Even so, I'm sure if we all merged our brains to form a collective definition of it, sustainable leadership would come down to this: utilizing our intrinsic skills like communication, teamwork, and empathy, and building upon our other expertise and working with team members to attain certain goals. To ensure our work is sustainable, we'd focus on long-term growth through ensuring our mental health and well-being, creating uplifting environments for coworkers, and recognizing talent where there is potential for it, whilst valuing every member of our community the same. It is important for us to form our own narratives of the world, to share our ideas and worries, to discuss our differences and similarities, and see how we can bring about creative, collective, and mutually beneficial change. We are tomorrow's workers and leaders, and the sooner the strive for creating change emboldens us to act on our creativity, the faster we will progress. Platforms like Pandeteens have been inspiring others to do just that, to learn, network, and grow together. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the founder of Pandeteens, Bashi Agrawal, who will give us more insights into Unit 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri. That literally summed up our entire theme and event for today, and why it is so important for us to have a whole event on a theme like youth creativity and sustainable leadership. So, I take this opportunity to say good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining in. I know there's a couple of you from different time zones, so thank you so much for sticking around at this odd time. Now, I am so excited to be here today and be a part of this amazing panel discussion with our three remarkable facilitators, spreading light on diversity, creativity, and career development. We are going to touch upon such important topics, and I just can't wait to get into it. So, without further ado, I'm honored to invite our first guest, Vaishnavi, who has spent 15 plus years in the IT industry. She shares a great passion for being actively involved in CSR initiatives and is a certified I Am Remarkable facilitator. She loves to help the youth in any way, and this amazing selfless act she calls as food for her soul. Honestly, it's super creative. Now, juggling between work, children, her passion, we're so glad you're here with us today to inspire much more. Thank you, Rashmi.
Well, thank you so much, Rashi. That was a very wonderful introduction of me, so it feels very humbling. It's an humbling experience, though. Um, Hello and welcome to the future of tomorrow. I would like to call all of you all the future of tomorrow because you all are the ones who are going to shape the world. And I'm so glad you all are already mature enough to touch base upon topics which need so much of maturity and insight. Um, so it's a great honor to be here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll
Um,
get into
we'll
yeah.
we'll introduce the other panelists as well. With great pleasure, we'd also like to invite our second panelist, Judith Martinez. She has marketing experience for over 2 decades, and she's a four-time Emmy award-winning content producer and anchor. Judith is on a non stop mission to inspire and motivate people to reinvent themselves. She even has her own podcast, so you should definitely check that out. Continuing her aim and focus, we are thrilled to have you with us today, Judith. I know it's midnight there right now. Yeah, so glad that you
Yes.
could join us. Yeah?
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me
Mm-hmm.
well. It's yes, 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm so excited and so energetic. I can feel the positive vibe of the speakers and the attendance.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my perspective from America and from an immigrant perspective of someone who moved to America when I was 22 years old. So lots of creativity there in the life on an everyday um, happening
Yeah.
in this country. So
Okay. Thank you,
I'm
Judith.
glad I'm part
Yeah.
of this event.
Lastly, we're super excited to invite our third panelist, Purnima. With her 7 plus years of experience in the banking industry, she has found another way to add value into people's lives. Being an I Am Remarkable facilitator herself, she has empowered many through her powerful talks. Purnima has also actively been a member of many societies through which she has aided and motivated children and adults. She is on a great she carrying this great vision and unstoppable attitude of giving others hope to thrive in life. We're so glad to have you here with us today, Purnima.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rashi, for the nice introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm very glad to introduce myself. I'm Purnima. So I'm very proud to say I'm a facilitator, a certified facilitator of I'm Remarkable, and also a committee member of various Toastmasters Club. So as I said, like the best thing you give to others is hope, which satisfies you and also it thrives others. Thank you so much, and a very good morning to the other panelists, to Rashi, and to the next generation, as Vaishnavi said. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all three of you for being here. Now, I know diversity is the hot topic right now, and honestly, it is so confusing between diversity, inclusion, equity, and all of that. And we have the best facilitator to solve my doubt today. So, Vaishnavi, what are your thoughts on diversity? And honestly, please, the difference between inclusion and diversity?
Yeah, good. Yes, as you rightly pointed, it's very important for us to understand the slight nuances between these terminologies. It's often confused, it's often mingled, and it's often misunderstood as well. So, um, I believe in telling it through stories or through examples and so on. Okay. So what's diversity? You know, on the broader sense, diversity is something which defines you, which you are unique about. Maybe the region you come from, the race you are, you know, and even things which make you unique. I'm a left-handed person. I'm a right-handed person. I'm a left-handed person, and then scissors bother me. Why is this world such a right-handed world, right? So it is these kind of things which make you unique. I'm somebody who suffers from sleep, so you belong to that group. So that's another diverse group. So qualities which make you unique, which make you into a group, which brings you together with your fellow people. That's your diversity. Okay. Now, what's inclusion? Inclusion is being able to be participative in spite of the diversity. Okay. I hope
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring in that. So, irrespective of when you look at your classmates, your colleagues, there are people coming in from different regions. There are people who are introverts there. There are people who are extroverts there. So in spite of all that, your own group may have people with each of these natures. So that is inclusion. Now, what's equity? Equity is trying to give a fair chance to everyone in your group. I'll touch base more upon it. Finally, belonging. Belonging is what we are talking about is diversity, inclusion, equity is from everyone's perspective. But belonging is more human. It is more about within you. In spite of you, after being provided all this, how do you feel? That's a human experience. Belonging is a human experience. Okay. So now let's take the case like, you've been invited to a party, okay? irrespective of whether you are coming from a different region, you belong to a different class, you belong to a different school, different section, different college, whatever. That's diversity. Okay? After you've attended the party, they actually ask you to even participate in the dance there. So that's inclusion.
Inclusion. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Next. Now, let's take a case like, um, one of us is really short. We couldn't reach the table bar there. So the restaurant steward actually understood your difficulty and is providing you with a pedestal stool there, where you are getting a fair chance to reach the counter table like everybody else. That's equity. Okay?
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're getting the point, right?
Yeah.
Let's take the case like maybe we are going to a restaurant, and if you would have observed, and suppose whenever I tag along my toddler and go, you know there are restaurants which don't provide a seat for my toddler, so that means they are ignorant about his presence at all. And there are restaurants who, in spite of if I'm not ordering a plate for him, still provide me with one of the stools there. That is equality. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then the restaurant which is providing me with a pedestal stool which is meant for toddlers, where they allow him to reach the table on par with us, giving him that extra support. That is equity. So even in your class, you would have seen all of us attend the same class, same teacher, providing the same teaching methodology to everybody. But there may be some of us who need some extra help, some push to be elevated to come on par of the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some extra hours. So that is equity over there, right?
Yeah.
Now, in spite of being provided all this, how my son is going to feel at the restaurant table, that's belonging. Can you see the joy? You would see the joy in the face, that experience, right? So belonging is something which is humane, which is more humanly to yourself,
Yeah.
So that's belonging, I hope I cleared the air around
Yeah,
this.
you gave such a nice example. Just very quickly, if we had to embrace diversity in ourselves, like sometimes we're not very conscious of how, if we're accepting to others' diversities and all, like other people have certain difficulties that we're also not aware of. So, how do we embrace this diversity and also, be aware? So, yeah, any of you?
Okay. See, Rashi, and yeah, everybody else, like, see, you are the best version of yourself, right? So the more authentic you are, and there is nobody else who is your carbon copy either. So the more you are authentic, the more you stay true to yourself, you will be able to present yourself everywhere the best. And let's embrace it. The world is becoming eye-opened to diversity and inclusion. We will definitely find our place. If you try to be what you are not, trust me, friends, sooner or later, if not now, later, you're going to feel more left alone within than left alone outside. So embrace yourself for what you are. Be your authentic self. Being authentic self will automatically pave way to help you find your community, help you find groups which are more relatable to you.
Yeah.
I feel the solution to everything is being your authentic self, accepting what you are. I'm an introvert. Great. Introverts have their own super, super, super qualities. I'm an extrovert. Great. Extroverts have their own qualities, right? I'm a bookworm. Great. I sleep too much. I'm a night hauler. Fine, right?
Yeah.
But embrace yourself. Don't try to be what you're not. That's what is going to make it difficult.
That is so true. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. Coming to your point of being your authentic self, that is so true. Embracing ourselves and actually accepting of what we are, who we are. And I think, Judith, can you help us know how can we be more accepting to calling ourselves creative? Because I know some people get a bit hesitant in saying, I don't think I'm creative enough, or I don't really think I'm creative. But, embracing yourself, being your authentic self, that requires creativity. And there's creativity all around us. So, how did you do it? And Would you like to spread some light on that?
Of course. I just want to say to Shavi's point, no, not Bashali, did I say it right?
Vaishnavi.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses. I can't read. But I just want to mention that I've been in situations where I felt wrongly that I did not belong in the room because there were six white men in the room and I was the only female of a minority group in that room. So at that particular point, if you ever encounter that, I want to share with you how did I solve my issues, because instead of starting feeling different and starting to feel that I did not belong in that room, I changed my mindset and I thought I was invited to this table because I'm speaking on behalf of the minority group that I represent. So I'm not the shortest, smaller person in the room with the dark skin. No, I am representing millions of women of minority groups who have a voice, and I was given the opportunity to be their voice at that room.
Yes.
So when you think like that and when you think how big of a group do you represent, then those thoughts of I don't belong here, or what am I doing here, I'm not important, immediately change your perspective. So to start thinking like that, you actually need to be creative and understand that creativity is one of the most important skills that CEOs and companies are looking into employees, into new hires, to promote, to give a promotion. They not only look your performance, but they want to see what have you brought to the table that is unique
Yes.
and that is creative. So let me just give you an example. You're taking notes. If I show up to a meeting and I bring this pencil and start taking notes, immediately people are going to turn and are going to say, wait a minute, this is the pencil where that we use to take notes. But if I bring this pencil to take notes, I am already making a mark and I will spark the conversation. People will start asking, why are you carrying such a big pencil? You know what? Because creativity is as big as this pencil. Creativity is not a conventional pen that everybody uses.
Wow.
Creativity means thinking out of the box, thinking of creative ideas to solve problems that include everyone's opinion. Creativity is also to have that leadership, to convey your ideas in a way that people follow you, and creativity becomes part of your trademark mark in leadership in the workplace. Now, if we keep thinking conventionally like everyone else and we just got to work from 8 to 5 and don't contribute to the growth of that company or that product or that project, then we just become a regular pencil. And we don't want to be there. We want to be the yellow big pencil that is always thinking, proposing. Also, sometimes you have great ideas, creative ideas, they don't get accepted, but that doesn't mean they weren't right. That just means they weren't right for that time, for that particular project, for that
Yes.
particular moment.
True.
But the minute you start proposing, thinking out of the box, thinking of the return on investment for that company, thinking that what you are proposing is going to make a process become faster, more efficient, less expensive, more inclusive, that is creativity. And the creativity starts by losing the fear of being judged and being criticized. What you're doing when you're creative and you're proposing an idea is basically opening air to your brain and to everybody's brain, bringing that fresh breath to the conference room and say, this is an idea. Whether you take it or not, it's a different way of thinking and it's a different way of doing things. That's how many companies launch new products. That's how now in the pandemic, what we thought it was unthinkable, I never thought that I would be giving or participating in an event in India and I am in America and it's happening, right? And I mean, thank you for inviting me and being part of this. But creativity is think always in big ideas. Don't put limit to yourselves. And once you spark the idea, it's like you light up a match. someone else will follow, and that creativity, that idea will turn into fruition when you get everybody's buying. Your idea, it could be just a little light that really sparks a huge explosion of, you know, fireworks, for example. Again, when you speak your mind, you are sending to the universe what you're thinking, and that can just be the beginning of something huge. Remember, your ideas are not yours. Your ideas are to share with others. If you keep them to yourself, there's no growth. So
Yeah.
speak up, present, be outspoken, and don't be judgmental if your ideas don't get any further.
Wow, Judith, I'm honestly speechless. You took care of everything. Um, I don't even know where to start from, but everything you said was so true, including the part where jobs and companies, when they're launching products or in hiring employees, they look for someone who can make a difference. They don't want that same conventional pencil. They want someone who's different, who can spark a difference, right? So with that view, Purnima, I mean, honestly, I'm a college student right now, and I also believe that I will get as creative as I need to get that job. So Purnima, how do you think is the right way to go about an interview, keeping in mind how creative and diverse and inclusive we need to be?
Thank you so much, and thanks for the wonderful speech from the other two guests as well. So going forward, right now it's a very typical age where you have completed your graduate and you are going to step up to the other stage of your life. Career, it doesn't mean like a growth in your professional life alone. It's the next process, next the progress you are making in your life, how you are going to change your environment, how you are going to make your life comfortable. It everything depends upon how you are choosing your career, right? So when you complete your graduation, what I am going to do next? Here I'm going to talk about three main topics. One is like how you can plan like which ladder actually suits for me, which is best fits me. Second, how can I prepare for that, and what happens if I apply in the job which doesn't fit me, or how I can face the interview. These are very crucial and critical points, right? Firstly, decide, you do a self-assessment of yourself. Three things on that: skills, values, interest. What skill you possess, which skill you focuses on, which add values to your goal, and which actually interested you are into. What are the soft skill you possess, and how I'm interested, how I'm going to look forward on myself. Maybe you can keenly notice and do the self-assessment to come to a conclusion like which sort of a job I'm really interested to. When I was a graduate, I was attending a campus interview where there were many companies were coming on for the call center job. I was like thinking, even if I get a job here, am I going to go for it? I want to become a developer. I want to become something else is running in my mind. Then why should I go and attend? So make your scope restricted to what you want. That is the first step where you can do it. What happens? Just think. What happens? Right person in the wrong place. Even if you perform well, what it adds the value to your scope. How it can even benefit the company. Right? How you both can be benefited. So choosing the right place is the first step where you can achieve the goal what you want. That is the first step is self-assessment in realizing which interest and which area you want to get into. Second thing is like how you can choose a career choice. What sort of a career I can choose. Just keenly watch which subjects you are very interested, which subjects where you feel like you can excel, and where you can perform better to make yourself improve in the organization, right? And those things can help you to decide which area I'm actually being more professional, or I can be more talented to showcase my case. That's the second step. Going to the interview, how you can prepare. I even remember a very funny point. When I was attending an interview, someone was asked a question like, what is the full abbreviation for HP? And that person said it is Hindustan Petroleum. It was like, It is not like that is actually instead of being a joke, there is a point in that. Before you step into an interview, first step is like research the company whom you are going to attend the interview.
Yeah.
Abbreviation, what is the background they are into, how many industries they are surviving, and what is the great achievements they have. We have plenty of jobs around it, right? We get everything in the net now. It is so much of accessible we have. So get the company details, do a research. When they post a offer, just think what you can do to that. If I take up this role, how can I contribute? If the role really suits my soft skills, it is really fit my specification, it really adds value to my goal, that is how it goes on. You can decide, okay, I'm going to offer this. Search the company details. Prepare yourself like how I can brush up with my soft skills or whatever the specification is given. Making it very clear, as a fresher, the recruiter's point of view, they actually check on what you have given in the resume, you are comfortable with that. They don't ask more, they're not going to ask less. So be clear in the specification, like what you can specify in the resume, how you can outline yourself, like I have attended the internship, I have done a certification, or which are all the highlighting points you can mention in your resume to make it more appealing to the interviewer, to make you be a creamy layer shortlisted person. That is most important. And thirdly, there is something called a behavioral methodology which is available. That is STAR approach. Situation, task, action, and then result. These are the 4 critical points which actually help you to overcome any behavioral questions. For example, I was asked a question like, I have an advertising company which is coming down and I want to promote it. What is the situation? The situation is the company is coming down. What is the task? The task is like I need to do something to bring up the company up. What I can do, I can post in the social media, or I can advertise it, or make it appealing, or make it reachable to many societies so that the people can think of that company. What is my analysis? My analysis is like something more to be dealt in order to reach it up. So I'm working on it, on the social medias and others, connecting with other teams. What is the resultant? I have achieved a 30% increase. So that is how you can answer it. The situation, what situation they are going to ask, and what task you are supposed to do, and by doing the task, what action you are going to perform. With that, what is the resultant you are going to achieve. So that is STAR approach. So when you go for an interview, be confident in what you want, and you don't be honest. Don't need to embellish anything. Be normal, be honest. Only your confidence can speak up. As we all say, we all 3 of our finalists, guests will agree, like, it is not bragging if it is based on fact. So
Yeah.
you can promote yourself. You can promote yourself. Yes, I have achieved this. Yes. Even there are some tricky questions where the interviewers may asking like, you don't have this experience, what you can do. You can say like, that is a wonderful question. I didn't get an opportunity to learn it, but I would like to learn. There are many places where you may end up with tricky questions like talk about your positive and negative. Why I have chosen the topic is like I want to give an example which I was speaking in many career-oriented speeches. Actually I'm a person who graduated with a distinction. But by the time I graduated, it was so much of restrictions outside, I wasn't get through. Trust me, I attended 25 interviews to get my first offer. And I landed up into some other place, and then I was deciding, I was striving. After a decade, I achieved to get into my dream company. Now I'm happy that I'm into my dream company. I'm in the place where I am supposed to be, right? So what I learned from that, there is a wording said, failures will make success, but slight moderation in that. Learning from failures only will make you a successful person. You need to learn. Like first interview I have attended, what is the fault, where I have missed, what I can improve. If you learn that, in the next step you can do it. Instead of me attending the 25 companies, I would have shortlisted the companies which I have not, only I am interested, right? So those things I learned it by myself when I was go through all that.
Yeah.
When people were asking your positive and negative, I used to list all negatives, being too many honest to them. It should be in a way like how you can tackle things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You should, when you are adding a negative in that place, you should be equivalently giving an opportunity for you to learn.
Yes, that is true.
And trust me, guys, they are not expecting any certified professionals like that. They expect a people who can have a good leadership quality, who can be confident enough to project themselves, and thirdly, like to have a great communication skills. If you are not going to talk about your accomplishments, then no one else. Then you are
That
the
is
best.
true.
The accomplishments can't speak by themselves, right?
Yeah.
So that is how you project. That is how you communicate. And a few 2 to 3 tips like how you project not only by here, physically is also important, right? Go in a very decent way. Give a handshake. Make sure you don't wet a lot. Wipe your hands and give the handshake. These are all things. Make yourself sit very normally and you can answer the question,
Thank you so much,
right?
Purnima. You got in so many good points, starting from
Thank
the
you. Thank you
point
so much.
where you're like, you shouldn't just join any company if you have nothing to offer to them. That won't increase their value. You won't learn anything. So, yeah, it might take time, but go into a job which suits you the best. So, that was
Yes.
your first best point. And also, yes, of course, during before the interview you have to research about the company, and you have to be self-aware. You should know yourself, where you're going, what you want. And there was this point that wanted me to slide into our next question, which was there ever a time, any three of you, I mean, you all have so experienced now, was there a time when before applying you're like, okay, this is the required core skills, I don't have one of them? Did you get a little hesitant on applying, or did you say, okay, this is a growth opportunity, I'm going to still apply for it even though I don't have one or two core skills, but I really want to do it, so you applied anyway? Was there ever a
Uh,
time?
yeah, Rashi, I'll just add to that, and yeah, this is a question I really look forward to be honest with you. Because there is a study which has even been done by Harvard Business Review, which says women do not apply to a job if they do not match at least 90% of the job description, while men apply for it even if they match just 50 to 60% of the description. I'm sure
I
Judith,
can see
Purnima,
Judith smiling
everybody will
real
agree.
wide.
Right? Because inherently, okay, friends, I know there are wonderful boys and young men also over here. I'm not trying to single you all out. I'm just trying to uplift the women here in this forum. Okay. Now, honestly, I was also one of them, and I was actually one of them expecting to match the JD fully. When I say JD is a job description, I just even wouldn't battle an eye to even look at something, even if there are 2 3 core skills which I did not have. Then what happened when I read this article, it was a starking realization to me. I was like, why? See, none of us pick up skills by birth, right?
Yeah.
It's over a period of time we learn. And at the same time, you just need to build in the confidence that, okay, I know these, and maybe with these skills, I will add value to learning the newer skill.
Yes.
It's just about you need to present yourself. So when I say self-promoting, it is not just even talking about your accomplishments. It is if you're not suitable for some job, you are actually presenting your case saying, see, I have been able to do all these. I'm sure because of being able to do all these and accomplish all these, I'm empowered to learn and do these newer things which you are asking me to do. So give me a chance, provide to me. And when I'm able to say this here, like Punima rightly pointed, I'm just not saying, I'm saying it with facts and data. If you just go over my LinkedIn profile, you'll see I have very recently changed a role from September 1st onwards. Okay. I have been a person who is in software development and engineering for the past 15 years. And many a times I was like, what next? What do I do next? But then I just came by an opening which was within internal to my company, which was actually business development. Trust me, marketing, business development to me is absolutely two different forums. It's like sky and sea. Okay. But when I saw the description, the skills which it asked for I knew in my gut I have those skills. I just didn't have the opportunity to exercise them. I still went ahead and applied. 6 months, I did not hear anything from anybody. And I didn't even pursue it also because it was not something I was chasing. Okay. Maybe I should have chased. That's what I'm trying to put a point. I should have pinged the person who was hiring for this role and asked them, why, what happened? Is there something I can do about it? But then one fine evening, they called me and they said, Vaishnavi, the hiring manager wants to talk to you this afternoon. I'm like, this afternoon? Because it's 6 months and I even totally forgot about it. And I still didn't want to miss the opportunity.
That's good.
Well, I just politely requested them, maybe could you give me a day or so? Because I do want to do my homework, right? I
Yeah.
just do not want to present myself just because I be polite, ask them for the time, and I'm sure they'll be gracious, okay? And the point is, if they wanted to come back to you, that means they felt probably there was something in you. That's why they want to talk to you, right?
Right.
Like Jude rightly pointed, if you're being invited there, it's because you had something. That's why you're being invited. So they did give me an opportunity, came back, gave me a day's time. So that day's time, and trust me, when you're given the opportunity, make the sky and earth one, okay? And I really did that. I did my reading, whatever is needed for that role. I checked on that company. It's not that company though, it's my own company. So I checked on that business unit, which are the products they work on, what they were doing. I did all the homework, whatever Purnima was telling do your homework, what's needed. And plus present the case of what you have done, what are the skills you possess. And trust me, the hiring manager was floored. He's like, oh my God, I didn't expect you to know all this about what we were doing already. Okay. And then I did tell him, see, I have never worked in this role before, but I have a feeling I can do it. And maybe when the situation is a little difficult, add a little bit of wit to it. The hiring manager actually told me, see, this is going to be a role where you're going to handle customers, you're going to handle market personnel, and you're going to be negotiating with the engineering team. How do you think you're going to handle this situation? Honestly, I didn't know how I was going to handle that situation because I've never been in that. I just tried to use a little bit of wit over there. I said, let's call him Mr. X over here, okay, just for identity's sake. I said, Mr. X, I'm a mother of two, so I know what negotiating is. So I think I can do that job. Okay. So when you are really not when you're really not knowing what to answer, use your wit there. That's what I'm trying to bring here. Use your wit there. You can handle it, but you just don't have the case how you handle it in the business world, but you have handled it in your personal world. So use the examples of your personal experience to say, see, using my personal example here, I actually brought in the point that I'm good with negotiation, so I think I can negotiate. That's what I meant there. Okay. I hope this helps, Rashid.
Yeah, yeah, super clear. I see Judith smiling throughout the whole thing. She was relating so much with you. Would you
I'm
like to
sure
add
Judith will
on?
be able to relate to this, because
Yeah.
also in the product engineering team, there are so many few women. There have been teams when there were 35 men and I was the only woman. And then they were made me, I had to fight through to become an engineering manager, okay? Because the boardroom was always all the men, the director, the VP, the managers, the release manager, everyone were men over there. And I was the only one navigating into. Very easily you become the outnumbered one, okay? Here I prefer to call being outnumbered more than minority because I was not representing a race or something over here, but I was representing the women of my company. So I was just outnumbered by my counterpart. So I did have to make a point every now and then, and I had to be louder to have my point heard. When I mean louder, it's not the volume, it's the content what I'm talking about, which had to actually have them turn their head and take a look at me. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to share a little bit of my experience in that sense of the impostor syndrome that many of us carry sometimes.
Absolutely.
In my 20 years of experience, I've been really blessed that all my job opportunities have come to me instead of me applying for a job. Actually, I don't know what it's like to apply for a job. I'm starting to look for a job actually after 20 years of receiving so many opportunities. And even so, one of the most important career opportunities I had on my life, that I was an entrepreneur for 10 years. The first 10 years of my career, I was a publisher and editor of a publication, online and print publication. And then
Wow.
we were forced to close that company. And I was recruited by a TV station to be their news director and news anchor. They offered me the job and I immediately rejected it, and I started with this imposter syndrome, like I was a print web editor. How am I going to be on front of a camera? I'm ugly, I'm not pretty enough, I'm fat, I don't feel the fit the profile of a news anchor. Like, why is this opportunity coming to me? And that's when I had to introspect in myself, and really get it deep in myself and start believing in me. And I was like, if other people believe in my skills, why don't I believe in myself? Why? Because I had all these limiting ideas growing up that there was a certain profile for people who work on TV, and I didn't feel that I was physically capable of doing it. It took me a few days or weeks, I would say, to digest the idea that yes, I was capable. So I told the company, okay, I think I can do it, but I want you to test me. Let's make a pilot and send it to the corporation and see if the corporation gives me the blessing. And my manager was like, Judith, we already chose you. We don't need approval.
Wow.
Why do you need to have approval of the vice president where we already chose you? So there I learned, like, why do we self ourselves too little? Why do we have all that humility? Why do we want to be so humble? If we were born with talents, if we were born with capabilities, if we were born with all these uh, I call it gifts, really, from God. We were born with all the skills we needed to survive, and many of us have not used those skills because we listen to society, to our parents, to our husbands, to our peers that tell you like you're not good at it, and you believe it instead of believing in yourself.
Real.
So my message to you is, pretend that imposter syndrome is like a business suit. Take it off and hang it in the closet and forget that even exists. If you have the willingness to do the job, you're not supposed to know everything. But if you have the willingness to learn and the positive attitude to say, okay, I'm open to the universe. If I'm here, I'm here to learn, and I'm going to do the best of my ability, people will value that you're putting all that effort into that specific task that you thought you weren't set for it. So that's my experience as far as that imposter syndrome. That is, we need to learn how to how to um, how to manage that syndrome and not let it get on our way our careers.
Yes. Wow. I've gotten so many great insights here, and I'm sure everyone has too. Um, we are running short of time a bit, so we're going to quickly go through the Q&A session. There is one question. With the immense power they have, how should governments and businesses assist youth in ensuring that everyone is respected and valued in terms of our diversity, equality, inclusion, and equity? Who would like to?
I have a answer for this. That's such a nice question. Why I'm taking up this, like, the youth is having an immense power, but the government is already given an opportunity. You could see some 20 years back, the government at one point stopped recommending government jobs, and they were start revealing many benefits to start their own small scale businesses. Even the banks, the governments, and other investors groups are coming in forward to provide the opportunities like the money or the investment. If you are a woman and you really want to be an entrepreneur, and if you are a normal, a graduate, even without any I mean, any loan or whatever it is getting more easier. It is getting more easier and the government is fully supporting already. So why I am saying this point is like 25 years back, I think I can proudly say 25 years back, my father, who doesn't get a government job and I was trying, he started business with all these skills what government has given and now he is an entrepreneur. And we have many people working under us. So you should check the opportunities and make use of it. How you can use, as Judy said, like you are out of the box thinking can only make you a unique person which can outline your unique attributes.
Yeah.
So I think the government is providing. Maybe to add on with that, what I would suggest is like maybe they can analyze the various other opportunities. They can give it to the spotlight, like other sectors and areas which is not very common in nowadays, where you can look in and get a job in that. Thank you. I think that answers the question.
Yeah. Thank you, Purnima. Uh, Vaishnavi, did you have anything to say?
Yeah, see, Purnima rightly pointed that the government is very supportive of youth wanting to pursue um, newer jobs. See, like she rightly pointed, it's in the past 10 years you see there are so many startup cultures, there are so many startups. You have your own company. So you are also an example that, you've been able to start something on your own. So the government is definitely supportive of all this. We have the Make in India initiative as well. I mean, for the youth who are joining in from India. And another point I would like to touch base here is, Shruti is rightly asking that how is the government even respecting the diversity, inclusion, and equality within us? If you see lately, whether it's in our Aadhaar cards, whether it's in our forms, we are including people from all walks of sexuality as well. So we are including even that. It is no longer only the male or female. People are able to openly accept their choices, right? So we have many more laws also which is being passed, which is supporting people who are representing the LGBTQI plus. So I think there is rather than having our doubts in how the government is going to support us or not, embracing ourselves and being our authentic self will, I'm again and again stressing on that point, because that will automatically show you the opportunities, lead you into the path, and provide you with where the support is coming from. Okay.
Yes.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, being our authentic self, and there's so many key points from today's meeting. I couldn't thank you guys enough for being here today with us. And just drop in your social handles on the group chat so that our youth can, get back to you, connect with you. Is LinkedIn the preferred platform, or?
Yeah, sure, LinkedIn. And LinkedIn will, I mean, I can really, handle you all back on LinkedIn and maybe Insta, but, LinkedIn's a preferred platform though.
Okay, yeah.
There.
Yeah, we will attach the required social handles, and I'm sure we have more questions, but we're running out of time now. So, thank you so much for joining in, and yeah,
It's been an absolute pleasure being on this panel. I just met Purnima via this forum a couple of days ago. So Judith, it has been immensely wonderful knowing you. The aspects you shared on creativity. In fact, I can myself also take a cue from you, because we are so many people who are from the engineering or the software background. So the aspect you brought in about, so Rashi, you brought us together not just for the panelists to learn. I mean, not just for the members to learn. I think it's even us panelists who are going to carry in a lot of knowledge and value out of here.
yeah,
So it was great knowing Judith as well on this forum.
yes,
Thank you. I appreciate your words, and it was an amazing experience for me. Thank you, Rashi, for your patience with my connections and my time difference. I also learned from the panelists. I think we are in an never ending learning process. We can learn from each other,
yes,
and it's amazing how we are so far away from each other, physically, but professionally we go through the same issues, and
Exactly.
we solve them in a very similar way. So I really like this idea of being connected. That our brains are connected, that we are on the same type of um, waves, if you want to call it. But it's just amazing to know trailblazers like you who are making a difference in your communities. Congratulations to Pandeteens for this initiative, and to Rashi, and to you two ladies. It's been a pleasure to listen to your lives and to your experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, it was a wonderful experience for me. Like how we are all connected. The regions doesn't matter, where you live doesn't matter, the technology doesn't matter, experience doesn't matter. It's all the common line of focus and the word like promoting goodness to others only linked all of us here. So I was very happy hearing from Vaishnavi, and I think I learned from Judy where I was able to connect with her, like when she was stepping out to that job, which she feel all insecurities, all that even I have undergone and I have overcome where I was here. So I think we women have many things in common. So happy and congratulations many to Rashi. I think Shruti Dubey's question, I think one of the example is Rashi. We would like to see you kind of a youth, and we would like to support as well. Continue growing, Rashi. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for
I've
the
learned
support.
so much from you guys today. I'll definitely keep bugging all of you with every future events that's gonna happen.
Happy to
Yeah,
help
happy to
in
help.
this.
Happy to help. Yes,
Yeah.
happy
Pleasure
to
to
help.
help.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, guys. We'll keep in touch.
Have a
Yeah.
great
Thank you
day.
for the
Bye bye.
opportunity. Bye
Bye.
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you. Bye
Yeah.
bye. Thank you.
Good night, Judith.